Yeah. What's your dad's doing? Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Whoa. You have knee high. Whoa.
Yellow canistel egg fruit. I don't even need the knife. What does it taste like to you? Like sweet.
Like a pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Even
It's
the
like a
texture
pumpkin
tastes
pie.
pumpkin.
Or like a cheesecake.
Here we are. Sorry if I'm hurrying. Hi. Oh, are you smiling at me? Yeah. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Yeah. You wanna go see what Dad's doing? Yeah. Okay, let's go. That better? Go.
Hey,
Hey, we're just coming over to check on you.
you gonna plant canistel with me? Egg fruit?
Yeah. Fox wants to help.
Come here, Fox. You're gonna be the savior of my lower back. How about that?
He thought that was funny. He laughed.
He's laughing.
Yeah.
How's that tree look?
Looks good.
Hey, you look good. Fox looks good.
Yeah, it does. It's a little chunky. It's like, yay, fruit tree. Kisses all around. Yeah.
Whoa. Is he gonna be like a sumo? Ni说什么? He's gonna be a sumo wrestler, you know that, right?
No way.
It's like beefcake.
Oh, bless you.
Ooh. Nutrients, local compost, lava rock, massage. I'm trying to go above grade because it's so wet here. Fox, tell me when it's straight. Ni喜欢吗?
Look how strong you are. You're
Wow.
so strong.
Whoa, sit down.
Ooh.
Oh, look at his neck strength. Every morning we go on like a 30-minute walk around trees, and he just loves the leaves and the trees.
He's so intrigued. Look. Woo, you reach for it? Look, he's looking right at it.
Yeah. His eyes are so blue, like the ocean.
Yeah, there's the word. Aw.
Babe,
Yeah.
an old man who plants fruit trees, the fruit of which he will not see. That man believes in the future. Boom. Let's put 3 orchids on this tree.
Okay.
The seed is so big, it's like jewelry. Like,
Yeah.
near pendant.
It's actually really weird looking. It's like a bug or something. Thanks. This is one of my favorite fruits.
What's the texture like?
Texture is like kind of like an avocado. Kind of creamy.
Like cheesecake?
Cheesecake. And it tastes like a pumpkin pie. Very desserty. It's not too sweet. It's really good, honestly. It tastes like a pumpkin pie. That's what I think. Yeah. It's really good.
I mean, it's so cliche, but next level. Look, it's like syrup coming out of there. Whoa, it's like syrup. Mmm. Okay, ready? Okay. You just jiggle it. Oh yeah. Yep. Good job.
Mame sapote.
You got it.
Yay.
Or a mommy sapote for the mommy.
Mame sapote. AKA pumpkin pie. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, thank you. Hey, I want to talk to you guys just for a second. I read all the comments. We get these new videos out, every week or every 2 weeks whenever we have enough content to show you guys. And I read the comments, and every video is different as far as comments goes. Like the video we did talking about our birth story and how we gave birth to Fox was probably the most real and touching and I would say personal comments I've ever seen on a YouTube video, I've ever put on YouTube, and I've put over 3,000 videos on YouTube. And what I mean by that is that usually the comments are like a ton of positive comments from people that love to watch our show. And then, 1 out of every 1,000 is like a really ignorant, negative, arrogant, conceited, and uninformed comment, a troll comment. But the birthing video had a lot of amazing comments, and I just love reading all of your birth stories. A lot of you guys attached your birth story, and I think a lot of you used our YouTube video about Fox's birth to kind of put text behind your birth story, and I really appreciate that. I loved reading all your birth stories. And I would really encourage you guys to go back and watch that video and read the comments. But what I'm finding is that a lot of comments on these regular video blog episodes showing how we're building an off-grid life in 2 different climates, they're very ignorant. Actually, they're very positive and very loving. But the ignorant ones stand out in your brain Like somebody who tells you, I love you, I love you, I love you a million times, when they say, I hate your guts one time, you'll remember the I hate your guts comment more than the I love yous, you know? So troll comments always stick out. And I wanna kind of talk a little bit about things I see trolls talking about. So one thing is cutting trees down. A lot of people who live in apartments, live in the city, live on the grid, have a big problem with us cutting trees down that are on the properties that we own. So Komorebi up there in Canada is about 20 acres, and the trees that are on that property number in the thousands of trees, literally several lifetimes of trees that were all planted by humans. None of those trees were old growth forests. All the trees on the Canadian off-grid property, Komorebi, were probably third or fourth planting trees, third or fourth growth. And every time that a growth happens, it's 40 or 50 years. So starting in the maybe 17 or 1800s, that area of Canada had been logged, and then people come in and plant a bunch of spruce or a bunch of hemlock in our case, really close together. And then 50 years later, they come back and they harvest it again. They plant more hemlock. 50 years later, they come back, they harvest it again. So the trees at that property are all planted by humans, probably back in the 80s, 1980s, when I was born. And now they're the same age as me, but we're not gonna harvest them all, we're gonna keep them all. Just harvest the ones that we need to stay warm and to cook and to build structures, keeping them there on site. And we use every part of the logs that we cut down. We also cut them down to allow sun so that we can plant and grow fruit trees in our garden and provide food for ourselves. So here, as you guys saw with the last video, at Moe'Uhane, we have a lot of eucalyptus. And in this part of the world, eucalyptus is not native, and it's extremely invasive. And I think there's like 700 or 800 different species of eucalyptus. And what we have is a lot of paper bark eucalyptus. I would say about 2 or 3 acres of paper bark eucalyptus forest. And I have been milling my own lumber for a lot of years now, and I have been doing some practice milling with the paper bark eucalyptus I've been cutting down here on the property. And I'm gonna turn it into building lumber, let it cure, and hopefully we can use it to have a permanent structure here on our property, built out of the trees that have been growing here invasively. We're gonna leave some grandmas, but we're gonna thin out the forest that's here that's invasive. And we're gonna take all that lumber down and turn it into a pig fence, because there are wild pigs that will tear up the garden eventually. Turn it into a nice, beautiful, professional barn or farm style fence. We're gonna turn it into some structures, another pizza oven. I'm gonna be building a shed first and foremost, to house all of my gear. And as I'm doing that, I'm making light come in for fruit trees to go where the eucalyptus used to be. I'm also allowing more airflow to come in, and I'm leaving less of a place for mosquitoes to be on our property. See, I don't wanna kill mosquitoes, I don't wanna GMO mosquitoes. I want mosquitoes, I love mosquitoes. I just don't wanna give them a breeding ground in a non-native invasive eucalyptus forest in my backyard. So I'm trying to thin it out so that they go somewhere else native and can breed and spawn and do their thing, pollinate, all that stuff. So when you see me cutting down trees on the property, it's my property, it's our property, and we're cutting down trees that don't belong here anyways, were planted by humans, and we're taking those trees and turning them into something here on site. We're not shipping them somewhere else. Even things like the chainsaw sawdust or the wood chips that come off of this process of cutting these trees down, we're using for pathways and for building compost and things like that. If you guys ever go to a property that you want to own outright and turn into an off-grid property, I would suggest first going to that property and meditating, taking a deep breath, and thinking about this movie I used to watch called Zeitgeist that I like a lot. In the Zeitgeist movies, they talk about this thing called the Venus Project, and that was the first time I ever heard about something called a resource-based economy, not just a capitalistic or a communist economy. A resource-based economy. An economy that's rich or poor based off of what the resources are in that extremely local area. So what resources do I have at Komorebi in Canada? Well, I've got dozens of generations of trees, and I'll never cut down too many, because First of all, I'm only one person, I'm not bringing in an excavator. Second of all, I have no interest in selling the trees for profit. Third of all, I love the windbreak. Fourth of all, I love the beauty of the trees that are there. And the trees I do cut down, I'll replace with fruit trees. So that's one resource there. I've got unlimited rain. I've got more rain than any place on earth there in the Canadian rainforest. It's powerful. You know, that means all the fruit trees that I plant, I never have to put in an irrigation system. God will water the fruit trees for me. I've got the ocean 2-minute walk from the property, so I can go out there and catch unlimited salmon and halibut and lingcod. And I've got mushrooms in the fall and winter time that are wild. I've got berries, the berry capital of the world in the summertime. And I've got a lot of edible weeds like dandelions and plantains, things like that. I'm also rich in my well. I have a well on that property that pumps the cleanest water I can ever ask for. 9.5 plus pH, pure water, mountain spring water right there in the backyard, hand pump style. So transitioning here to Moe'Uhane, this property is extremely rich, the most rich. I'm a billionaire right now in sun wealth. So it's kind of changed my thought of what I need to surround myself with as far as technology goes here at the tropical property. Why would I want to be beholden to gasoline and oil when I have $1 billion+ worth of sun? So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm in transition, trying to eliminate all toys and tools that use fossil fuels and transitioning to ones that use the sun. So I do have a truck that uses gasoline, which will eventually become an electric. I bought that used because I really believe in the power of buying used cars that are cheap, that you negotiate for cash. I just don't like going into debt, so I usually buy cheap cars that are used. Plus, when you buy a new car, you're just taxing the earth a lot more than buying a used car. So I'm going to beat this truck into the ground, and hopefully I can try to find a truck used coming up that's all electric. Anybody wants to buy a Tesla Cybertruck, use it for a couple of years, and then sell it to me used, give me a text or a call. I'd love to buy it from you and power it with the solar panels. So I've got the lawnmower behind, the zero-turn lawnmower that I found at a local place here that was being sold for half of the amount. So maybe it was lightly used, still in pretty new condition, great condition, half off. And it's all electric, 100% lithium ion battery. So I'm going to be using solar panels and a electric generator to charge it. When you're in love with a girl and she wants to run through the yard, and when you want to do sports with your kid like soccer and baseball and football, a lawn is a cool thing to have. And when it's in an area like this that is a rainforest that's tropical, that has limited sun, I don't have to have any irrigation system. I don't have to swap out Bermuda for rye and overseed. It's just the same grass all the time. All I got to do is cut it, and I'm going to cut it with solar energy. So far here at Moe'Uhane, I've planted 20 fruit trees of different varieties, and we have about 100 more to plant, and then we have to get started on the raised beds. And I'm trying to plant all the fruit trees first so that as I'm doing other things, or maybe as Nicole Fox and I go back to Komorebi in Canada, the fruit trees can be growing and getting to where they're producing fruit in our absence. Okay, so I've got the Yeti 6000X from Goal Zero, and I love what it's on. It's on like a dolly, or like, it kind of looks like a piece of luggage that you would wheel through the airport. And I can't even tell you how other batteries that I've had have been so heavy and hard to carry around. So it's kind of nice that this one has these wheels. You can wheel it around. So I'm gonna push the AC, activate these two plugs. Can you see how the screen is flashing right now? That's only because the camera is not at the same frame rate as the battery. To me, in person, this is all not flashing in real life. It's only flashing on camera, which is kind of weird. The lithium lawnmower is not full, so let's plug this in. Let's now plug this in. So this is on the lawnmower. You can see how this one's flashing as well, which in real life it's not flashing. It's just flashing on camera. 78%, and it's being charged. We got the 4th bar out of 5 charging up. So the Goal Zero is charging my lawnmower. No gas, no oil. Just gotta worry about keeping the blades sharp. So I really can't speak to this brand of lawnmower at all. I just got it because it was in a very new condition, lightly used, and half price. Now the Goal Zero Yeti 6000X is charging it up. This is great because now I don't have to rely on a monthly energy payment. I can just lay out my solar panels like I have them here, these Nomad 200s, and I'm hooking all 4 of these together so that each one of these 200 watt panels makes an 800 watt system. So I'm kind of running them in parallel, and now I've got an 800 watt system that can feed that battery. I have several interests and I like doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm kind of living life, doing things I'm interested in. And some people around me sometimes ask for financial help, and I don't think I should be given that. I don't think I'm a very good financial person. But if there is any financial help that I would give to Fox, let me give Fox a message from the past. Hey Fox, don't go into debt. Pay things that you can afford as cash if you got the money, and build things that you can build if you want to escape the money. And also barter and trade with your neighbors and your local friends and people in your area. But if you ever do get some money, use that money to free yourself of money. Does that make sense? If you ever get some money, because universe sometimes makes you lucky. I don't think anybody really should be cocky. I think the universe sometimes takes great people and throws them some bad cards, and the universe sometimes takes bad people and throws them some good cards, and the universe sometimes takes good people and throws them some good cards. So if you get lucky and you get some money, use that money to free yourself of money. And the way that I do that is all around me. So you get a little bit of money. I didn't grow these fruit trees from seed, but I found a really amazing nursery that was a couple hour drive away. And I was able to pay $45 for a 7-gallon or $120 for a 15-gallon fruit tree that already were 2 or 3 years old. So now I get fruit faster. So I took some money and I spent it on fruit trees that will eventually make it so I don't have to buy groceries anymore. And now in the distance, I've got the electric lawnmower that allows me to not have to rely on landscapers at a monthly payment to cut my grass or to do my landscaping. I do it myself, and I can do it for free. Never got to buy a drop of gasoline or oil. And the solar panels, these are expensive at first, right? It's cheaper to just take a wire and connect to the power company, and every month forever, even if you use zero power, the power company will get you for a $30 to $50 or more service fee every month. Have you ever tried not using energy, keeping all your electricity off? You still get hit with a $30 to $50 or more service fee per month. This makes me crazy. I want to escape all these fees. So instead, if you got a little bit of money put away, you invest in some solar panels that are going to last for decades and decades and decades if you treat them right. And a little battery backup, the Yeti 6000, that'll also last for decades and decades if you treat it right. These lithium batteries can go through a lot of cycles. They can be drained and charged many, many, many more times than a lead acid battery. So if you get a piece of paper out and you do the math over time, I guarantee the solar panels, battery backup, are going to save you thousands and thousands or more money depending on how many you get. I don't see why you wouldn't make this investment, you know. if you like to use electricity. If you don't use electricity, then I don't know what to tell you. You're killing it. You know, you're doing good. Use electricity. I don't want to be in debt monthly to the power company. I want to escape. I'm doing it with things like this. There are a few other things that I got from Goal Zero to try out that I want to show you guys. A couple flashlights, a couple lanterns for night that also charge with solar. So let me go show you what else I got here that I'm pretty excited about that are going to help me here at Moe'Uhane, but also back at Komorebi. Hey, what do you got here?
We have some solar powered flashlights and some solar powered lanterns by Gold Zero. So these ones just pop open like that. And then it's really cool, you can hang them like so. It has different LED colors. It has a little hanging thing right there. These are really nice.
How do you charge them up?
So they have solar panels on this, on the lanterns, and then this is just this whole plate right here. And I can see the blue light flashing, so I know it's getting charged. So we'll meet back here tonight to see how they look when we put them up in the little cool tent thing we have.
Again, sorry about the flashing. In real life, it's not flashing, just on video because of the frame rate. But you can see now we've got 93% charge left, and the battery is pumping out 632 watts. That's a lot. And that's what the lawnmower wants. I think this guy can go up to like 2,000 watts. I think it's written right there, 3,500 surge. And now our lawnmower is at 88%. It's almost there, almost full. Thank you. Thank you, son. Thank you.
Looks like chocolate. It honestly does taste like a chocolate pudding. Just not as sweet, very mild, but it has like a pudding, like a very pudding texture. Really good. I think this would be really good in ice cream. Really good. Yeah, I don't think this one's ready yet, but I feel like we should open this one up and freeze it for an ice cream.
Well, I got one of these to plant.
Ooh.
And it's beautiful. That's good. Like 2 more shovels. That's good. This soil's gonna break away because it's still young. Pull. Go. It's okay because that's the root ball that I purchased the tree as. So if we bury it right now, it won't be stressed out. Makes me feel good. I've always wanted to plant my fruit trees with good native soil that was full of worms. Boom, check. Lava rock, aka cinder, locally crushed. Check.
More?
And locally grown organic biodynamic compost. Boom, check. One more. Love it.
I want it.
Yeah. Thanks. Now we're gonna build our mulch basin. How's that look? The Ulu breadfruit. Right, so that's our middle. So we're gonna go a square around that. One good. Okay, here's what I do. You pull the pot off. Back on my soil's gonna break away because it's still young. Pull. Go. And sprinkle it around. Look at how healthy though. Like look at all these new roots that we made. Okay. This guy's gonna have moisture retention and drainage and nutrients.
All of it?
Yeah. Now we're gonna build our mulch basin. How's that look?
Good. love you. I love you. Oh, mama, mama, mama. Mama, mama, mama.
你的眉毛、鼻子、脸颊、耳朵、头发、你的唇。
Let it out. Let it out. Yeah. Oh yeah? Yeah? Can you tell me more?
One thing that's crazy is that we're just, see, that's gonna, that's what happened before. It spanked me. So who taught you how to do this?
It was this guy from Alaska, actually. These leaves are good. So not the best for like big things, like big hats, but because ideally, well, first of all, you want something that's green all the way. Like these are pretty good. And then the way I measure it is like basically from my chest to put in my hands. So
Okay.
this is really short. So this is gonna be good for like a small basket like this kind.
Okay.
I mean, it's not very clear to see what's going on, but that's the rim right there.
Yeah.
So that is gonna be this, which we're gonna wrap around to make a circle. So notice how this is pretty stiff, you know, that you can't really bend it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shave it down with a knife so it's flexible enough that I can bend it. Let me see. Let me see. So
I can tell Spanish is your native language because
counting this family.
everybody,
Yeah.
your native language is the one you do
Yeah.
math in.
yeah, another small bowl. So notice this is gonna be like a very small bowl because it goes. We're probably gonna use let's see. So we're gonna take these out. So yeah, you see this is gonna be kind of a medium size and this is gonna be a really small. It's actually easier. You see how these leaves, you know, are going kind of up?
Yeah.
Like this is the bottom of the leaf that attaches to the
Okay.
trunk of the palm. So it's easier to go down. Yeah, good. And you can go like longer, you know, like
Yeah, like one move.
yeah, like you see how it kind of dig it in a little bit.
You got the feel though. I'm just the.
I know. Yeah.
I don't have the feels yet.
I've done this 1,000 times.
I know exactly.
Because stiff points are like right here. It's kind of stiff, and right here. So that's where I'm gonna shave a little
Shave more.
So like. And then, the whole idea, you see this yellow stem, that's the top and that's this. So the way it's gonna work is each one of these, this one is gonna travel like this, and then the remainder is gonna be for the base. So it's gonna be kind of like that. This circle might be just a little too big than we want. So I'm gonna take one more off, like this one. Just easier to work with.
How's he doing?
Like this, except they're gonna be woven into each other. And this is gonna make the top, like this. And with the remaining part of the leaf, we're gonna work on the base. These circle like in, you know, more like a bowl shape. And this one, not as much. It kind of almost goes out. And the reason for that is at the beginning when you're weaving, this one comes across like a lot of leaves, it's gonna close in. If we only like go like this, it's gonna open. So yeah, so that's the first one. What we did is we skipped.
Oh, so I'm okay. Just to start. And now we go.
So that one is done. That one is
done.
done. And then you move on to the next one, which is this one.
Okay. But you say then you can clip it.
Yeah, just so it stays in place.
Okay, I'm gonna go over this. There.
Yeah.
Under this, but then down.
Yeah.
There
Good.
again.
Yeah. That's up to your preference, you know. If you want your bowl to be more like closed or more open. So yeah, so that's the first one. What we did is we skipped forward.
So I'm.
That one is done. That one is
Or it's
done.
done.
And then you move on to the next one, which is this one.
Okay. But you say then you can clip it.
Yeah, just so it stays in place.
Okay.
And then this
Oh, so
same
I'm
thing.
gonna hit each one of these.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is gonna go over 4.
Yes. Yeah.
There
Good.
again.
Yeah. So yeah, you notice how you're just moving forward like that.
Yeah.
This space, ideally not too much, but it's not a big deal. Like
Okay.
that's perfect actually. So. Yeah. So look, the last one you just did. So this one, it only went under. It needs to go over. So if some leaves are easier to work with. This one's alright, but not the best.
But I want it to go this way, right?
Yeah. All the little gaps here and there. Some leaves are easier to work with. This one's alright, but not the best. So now we're gonna tighten it just a little bit. So like this, kind of shape it a little bit, or I go like this, hold it with from the rim, and then kind of bend it up a little bit. So it kind of starts to take shape. So you can work with it a little bit. Each one of these, like let's say like this one for example, it's gonna, you see how it's going under, over, under, and then it's gonna completely go under that, so that then it can go over the next time. So all you're doing is poking each one of these up from the next gap, like there. You see, and then this one, same thing, and you just continue that all around. Now, let's say this one, same thing. You see how it's going under, over, and then it's going to come into the next gap, like there. And then when you pull it, you know, you can pull it a little bit at this point.
Ooh, it's starting to look like a bowl.
Yeah. It will be easier to do it this way because then we're going to have enough slack to make a base.
Okay.
Or if you want it to be, you know, like this, where it kind of covers that rim, but then it still kind of shows it on both sides. Yeah.
What's happening over here?
Yes.
Stop it. Get back.
So all I'm doing is, you know, picking up the slack, and when I pick up the slack, I'm also pushing them together so that the gaps are not there, and then pick it up from the bottom, and from here again, push it, and then just go like that.
Yeah.
Much tighter than the other. So it's better to like tighten a little bit at a time all around. Okay. The idea for the base is each one of these, like it's gonna come across the middle like that. So yeah, let me help you make it tighter. So yeah, towards the end you start running out of space, but it will work. So the way it's gonna work, we're gonna separate about half the amount of leaves we have. So we can make that one a little tighter, but we can see this process. So we're gonna separate, let's say 7. So these 7 we're gonna put away right there. So we're gonna start with this one. It's gonna come across and it's gonna skip all the ones that are separated except the last one. It's gonna go underneath the last one, like there.
Okay.
You see, and then from here we're kind of just gonna tuck it in where it's gonna land, which is here. So we're gonna poke it under there, just so it holds itself there, like there. So that's the first one. So if we just did this one, this is the next one, and then it's gonna be this one, and so on.
Guys, I'm not gonna get to right away, so like I'm gonna pot them up so they stay healthy, you know. Maybe you can jiggle that. Perfect. That's curry. Thanks, babe. How's the coffee flowers?
It smells really good. Doesn't smell like coffee though.
What does it smell like?
It almost smells kind of citrusy.
There's something in the sky, but all I see is you.
There's some new growth coming in.
Holding on to us as if it's all I have.
Sideways against the tree.
I'm a dreamer in the light, dreamer in the night, dreamer in the sky. I'm a dreamer in the light, dreamer in the night, dreamer. I wanna let go, fly where the wind blows. I wanna taste the air again. And when I lift off, my mind will turn off, my heart will feel love once again. I just wanna fly, I just wanna fly away. I I'm a dreamer in the light, dreamer in the night, dreamer in the sky. I'm a dreamer in the light, dreamer in the night, dreamer. I wanna